Hi, I'm Sarah of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts, and it's that time again. It is Oracle storytelling time, and not just that, it is a very watery storytelling time. We're going to be using Oracle of the Mermaids. We have this uh, lunar eclipse coming up in the sign of Scorpio. So there's a lot of just watery energy that's going to be coming into this video. There is so much going on astrologically right now, and we are in Mercury retrograde. And with all these intense, watery, scorpionic emotions just swirling around right now, it's a little extra. Um, Mixing with all kinds of not just dreamy, but kind of like, Mars energy. And even doing this starting today, my entire computer just suddenly shut down. So, um, you just gotta keep going if it's something that you want to do at this time. If it's something you're driven to do, just know that things might completely shut down. And it's just part of what's happening right now. So, again, I am Sarah. Hi. We are doing a pick a card today. And before we do the pick a card, I just want to talk a little bit about mermaids, this watery energy. You can find more content of mine and find my art on Instagram using the hashtag Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts. You can also look on my website, sarahwingintuitivearts.com. And if I keep moving this a little bit, amazingly enough, my kind of configuration here also got a little jumbled, and I'm just hoping this looks all right. So, because we're in these like deep watery depths and there's so much swirling around, if you are a water sign, this might be a time that you really want to anchor into these watery feelings, or try to gain some sense of empowerment through doing some personal work around some deep emotions. I'm wearing my Hyperstein. I like saying it like that. I haven't pulled this out in a while, but this is about all kinds of relationships and restorative energies and heart's desires, because we are swimming, right? Swimming in these like very, I was thinking about Scorpio, which is a water sign, and I'm a Cancer, and I think, well, I go really deep, right? Like I can swim in the deep. I'm used to that. I enjoy it. But I was thinking about Scorpio being this like right at the bottom of the ocean, and just having this sign being really comfortable, just like nesting at the bottom of the ocean with all the pressure of the waves, just like keeping it kind of steady and pressured down there. And I was thinking about just the kind of magnetism around Scorpio, and if there's this energetic kind of always submerged in these depths. I was thinking there's always like water in the eyes. That's kind of like a spell casting, like these watery eyes. Just imagine if you're sitting and watching like the ocean, right? It's like this just mesmerizing energy. So I brought in a couple stones to just really be really soft. Well, I have a mother of pearl here. Okay. That's kind of good for releasing and grounding. And it does work with this watery mermaidic. I just want to put ick on stuff for mermaid theme. I also have this lovely piece of labradorite. Okay, and it kind of You can see a lot of greens and blues, this oceanic color. And for me, this is the most gentle. I think this is more gentle to me than like a rose quartz even. And then I grabbed my little California mermaid here. So before I moved from California, I picked up like souvenir stuff in Santa Cruz. And this was one of them. Okay. So I was just walking through my house today and I started singing a song from The Little Mermaid. And if you're like me, there was a Disney film when you were young that really impacted you, where you knew all the songs. I have two films, but The Little Mermaid, I will randomly burst into song even before the relaunch of The Little Mermaid was announced. And I was just thinking about, as somebody who does this, and as somebody who is an empath, kind of thinking about the Little Mermaid story. How does it relate to being an empath? And I'm thinking about, so in the movie, there's this family of mermaids, and you have one of them, the Little Mermaid, who's pretty much like the black sheep of the family, which is a very empathic trait, being the black sheep, being the one, right? The one who does like the energetic cleanup, the emotional cleanup. And so there's this story of, so here's this kind of, like this black sheep, a little bit of this outcast feeling, doesn't really know where to fit in, but she's really good at like swimming these seas, right? Like she's really, this is what she's adept at, right? And then here comes like a boat with these sailors and this prince, right? And so here's this person, it's like, oh, well, he wants to be on the water and he knows how to swim in the water. And so there's this kind of like, ooh, this person understands water. Like, how intriguing. Like, that's cool. I know water. Hey, I can tell you about water, all these watery emotions. And then there's an accident with these ships, or I don't know, it got fired upon. Anyway, so the prince goes down. Okay, so he's like, he's going to the bottom of the ocean. And then the Little Mermaid sees this and rescues him. And being an empath, a lot of us go through codependency and rescuing, right? We want to rescue people. We're like, we can do it. Some of us are like, we can rescue the world. And we really take that on as a challenge. So there's like this rescuing, okay? It's like, oh, I rescued this person. And then it turns into, well, how do I become part of their world? In fact, when's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore the shores of above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of your, or is it that world? So this question comes up. It's, how do I become part of that world? And imagine being an empath who feels like a bit of an outcast, and everyone around them, they just feel like they never quite fit in, or nobody really gets everything that they're getting, and feeling a little lost, right? Young and lost and trying to explore the world and looking for supportive partnerships of all kinds. And then the narrative of society, or Ursula being, okay, you can walk among them. You can be part of this world. And I'm going to tell you the only way to do it is to lose your voice. So it's like, don't speak your truth. Don't speak the knowledge that you have of these watery depths. Don't speak what you can impart and teach to others who didn't know that looking under the water was an option. or had never gotten curious about it. And so for a time, I feel like empaths are kind of just trying to navigate the world with a lesser version of who we are, because we're trying to fit into what society is saying we need to be. So we're kind of like covert light workers and healers that just kind of so we're kind of just, walking the world. We're told, oh, you can have this partnership, you can have this life. But the thing is, if you want to walk on land with the rest of us, you got to cut that voice out. Ursula's like, you got your looks, your pretty face, and your body language. Okay. And sometimes it really is that. Think of the times when, you've had more to say, but you don't just feel like it's not an appropriate person to share something with, but it's just you feel like you have to protect that part of yourself. So it's about it's this protection, right? You have to protect it. There's this sacrifice, right? Like, and it feels like sometimes you have to make that sacrifice. It's that feeling of helplessness. It's not a sacrifice of from a place of empowerment. So anyway, I was just thinking about the Little Mermaid and thinking about being an empath. And so I pulled out the Oracle of the Mermaids, and we're going to do a pick a card here. I have 3 cards, and I'm going to hold them each up, and I'll draw a little charm to go with each one. So you can look at the card and think, okay, card 1 speaks to me, 2 or 3, or you can go, well, the charm on card 1 speaks to me, 2 or 3. So we're going to do for card number 1. Ooh, of course. So this is card number 1. And we've got this lovely kind of mirrored ball here. Do I want to? What's that say on the back? Okay. Card number 2. So I got 2 charms here. So I got 2 charms. One is this Froggy. Froggy likes to come up lately and fall down. And the back of this says, be inspired. Wait, 1 second. Ugh. Good Lord, Froggy. Anyway, ribbit, ribbit, hopping all over the place. Then card number 3. Ooh, did I throw this in? Interesting. I love when I don't know. Okay, we have, ooh, okay, so tall grasses of the prairie. Is that Kansas? Jesus Christ, I'm trying to read a coin. Yeah, Kansas. So card number 3, the charm is the tall grasses of the prairie in Kansas. And there's a little butterfly. Interesting, interesting. So if you were drawn to card number 1, we're going to get your mermaid message. And we're talking about these mermaid themes, emotional themes, these watery themes that we're experiencing currently. And maybe if you're an empath, empathic watery themes. Okay. So this is the most Little Mermaid looking card, right? I mean, there's Ariel, there's Eric. Okay, I'm just saying. So we have Soul Cage, and then we have this. They're really interesting. So I want to glance at the book for these and look up a little bit to jog exactly what is the most important for this. Really quick. Okay, let me look this up. So the soul cage, all right. So you can kind of see that there's definitely some feeling of rescuing or needing to be rescued or rescuing someone. Um, there's this, yeah, a lot of rescue energy around this. So maybe um, right now you're feeling like there's uh, something you wish you could be rescued from, or you could rescue someone else from. I just got a hit of addiction when I said that. So maybe some of you are struggling with um, addiction yourself. Like maybe there's some kind of food addictions going on, or other kind of addictions that you're wishing somebody else could be freed from. Because I kind of, you see like the cage here. Um, it could be a partnership, and you're trying to lift your partner out of the cage. You're trying to lift both of you out here. Um, it's like the reverse jaws of life. Yeah, trapped. So it's a feeling of trapped, restricted, squeezed, or limited. Um, every compromise you've ever made to cut off a little of your soul off. Every time you lied to keep the peace. Ooh. A job you took because you thought you could never make a living doing what you love. A piece of unnecessary insurance we were sold. So a sense of safety, and how to um, ways that we're sold on how to keep safe, how to actually be safe, ways that people have sold us on that. Every time we're told to live in fear, every time we're encouraged by our culture to live as though we're in great danger. So part of what I know I've heard um, one of my favorite astrologers talk about is kind of this energy going around that's kind of like a charlatan energy. So just, I think there's kind of this river that flows of, there's kind of like lovely, dreamy, watery, almost Piscean mysticy energy. And then sometimes if the wrong person gets in, it can be very deceitful. It can be very problematic. You can be sold on fear. You can be sold on the idea of insurance, some kind of insurance to keep you from harm. Any Little Mermaid fans? Okay. So, do you wish to free yourself from the soul cage? It need not be done all at once, for there are many bars and chains and many locks. Interesting. But little by little, they will help you to rediscover the joys of living according to the stories your soul wants to tell, and you will be free. So that's interesting, right? Living by the stories your soul wants to tell. So first, it's kind of looking at what are the things, it's almost this, think of this as like a crystal ball, like a scrying ball. And what do you see? What are you seeing um, when you gaze to this ball? What do you see? And what are the things that are restricting you? What are the things that chain you up in fear? And looking at those things. And then taking a look what are the things that the stories your soul wants to tell? What makes your heart sing? What lights you up? What are these things? And then kind of compare the two and see if the things that hold you in fear are in harmony with what your heart sings or your passions are, or if there's something keeping you in this cage. And by something, I mean, it's all going to be rooted in the internal, okay? But we're going to project it onto, most likely, if there's a thing or a person that we're dealing with some kind of soul cage chains around us, it's worth looking at that and identifying that, and then doing that inner identification. of, you know, what are the emotions around these chains? Am I locked in fear? Am I being sold a false insurance through this thing or through this person or this idea or belief? But really taking that time to do that, because the soul cage will always be there. I almost feel like there's this, like, whatever this represents, person, place, thing, idea, belief, it's like, here you go. You push it to the surface, right? It can breathe. It has a sense of stability. But then if it's still unconscious, okay, if this is not an awakened thing, it's still unconscious, and then it's going to drop right back down, and you go, oh shit. And then there you go. You're going to be like, doing the mermaid thing. You go, you're falling in that soul cage again. And then you got to lift them right back up again. Okay, so that's card number 1. How fun. All right, card number 2. We had the froggy. Okay, that was ribbiting and hopping everywhere. And it's like almost like a Celtic acorn. And it says, be inspired. And the card is sacrifice. Okay. I don't know about you, but this looks like somebody who is really contemplating what's happening. I kind of have this feeling of like, I'm here. I'm at the door to greet this thing. I'm taking the steps, but I'm very cautious. I'm proceeding with caution. There are those worth making, and there are those that will destroy you. So there are sacrifices worth making and those that will destroy you. Okay. So I guess in the story of the Little Mermaid, the sacrifice she made of giving up her voice was to ended up basically having her tail disappear. Okay. So she sacrificed her voice. She sacrificed her tail, her ability to swim in the depths of these waters, to navigate with joy, to enjoy these sometimes unseen, unappreciated creatures, right? That live in the world with us, that so many people just take for granted or will never see or meet in their lives. So let me look up a little bit about this card. Trying to remember. So you may be contemplating doing something that is a hardship or giving up something that is precious to you in order to demonstrate how important a third option is to you. Remember to make the choice to sacrifice, and that by doing so, you have made what has been offered up holy and made more sacred the goal you are questing for. Make your sacrifices wise ones, and be sure to decide whether the sacrifice is the best path. Sometimes people make what they think are sacrifices because they feel others will view them in a certain way. And by doing so, they can become martyrs and wish only to be viewed as good. Remove this from your thinking. See whether you truly wish one thing or another. And then make your choice. And then when you make the choice and it is freely given, then you've truly made something sacred. So, right. So in the case of the Little Mermaid, she wants to be seen a certain way. She wants to be seen like she can fit into the rest of the world, their world, the world out there that she could never connect with, because she has this emotional strength, these watery depths, this knowledge, this insight that she's not really she doesn't see people in the world navigating with or having. And so her sacrifice is quite large, and her sacrifice comes at a very steep cost. And because she wants to be seen a certain way, she wants to be seen not as other, but as just like everybody else. And she wants to reap the benefits that she sees or feels everybody else gets to have, and she wants to experience that. Part of the empathic journey is to learn and get to a place where you understand that the things everybody else have are actually available to you as well. And a lot of the time, it is though a path of sacrifice, a path of sacrificing or shutting down, protecting parts of ourselves. We feel like we're protecting them from the world, but they often get very very locked away, and it can feel like we've sacrificed large parts of ourselves, and we have to then go and recover them. So making a choice, acknowledging you have a choice. If you're going to make a sacrifice, I want one thing, so I'm going to sacrifice time, energy I'm putting here or with this person or place to get something else. And doing that in a way that it's self-honoring. It's not sacrificing you, okay? It's not about throwing you out. Like the guidebook was saying, having this sacrifice be one that is sacred and holy. We can't hold on to and keep everything forever. And when we have a very strong felt choice, sometimes it even feels like a crossroad. Well, we do hit crossroads, and sometimes we just have to do what honors us in a great way, that didn't just honor us, but we also, there are those that will destroy you. Yeah, self-destructive choices. Ones that destroy, if you have healthy relationships and there's a choice or choices you're making that will actively destroy them, taking that time to think about how we want to, take Jesus, this frog is hopping. Okay. Should probably look up symbolism of frogs. But I'm going to say leaping, like leaping forward, okay? Because this frog keeps leaping. So leaping from desires of the soul or desires of the heart, being inspired, okay? And if you question if you're in like a inspired, heart-driven, heart-centered choice or a self-destructive choice, that's something that if you do have certain if you have certain talk methods or people you speak with, for reflection, that's great. Of course, any kind of divination tools are great. If you feel really at crossroads and, really hard up for a choice, and I mean, all you're getting is this weight of and feeling of sacrifice, and you're very conflicted. Sometimes it is, if it's a yes, nothing can stop you. If it's a no, it's all negotiation, and you can sense that. But sometimes you can, ask your angels, ask your guardian angel. If you do any kind of card divination, if you're drawing a bunch of cards and you've got like OCD drawing cards to get an answer, and you're just asking, if you're asking yourself, your higher self, ask one of your angels, even if you don't know their name. Ask one of your guides, even if you don't know their name, because they're going to give you the choice that will most benefit you for your highest good. And you can see this in cards if you've ever experienced this, or if you're stuck in a choice now. You can see the narration of cards that you, okay, as zen as you want to get, are just drawing from fear and ego, and you draw one with assistance of an angel or guide, night and day. It's night and day, and it can really get you out of the way. Even if you make a choice and end up coming eventually around to the one that's best for you, there's still an element of, stress or harm that you can put on yourself. So I just want to mention that as an option if you are someone that can't stop drawing cards sometimes. All right, fantastic. Okay, so for the last card, we have this lovely little butterfly, and it's the tall prairie grasses of Kansas. So butterfly already, that's the last stage of transformation, right? And there's so much transformation energy going on with Scorpio, deep transformation energy, which again, if you're a water sign or you're somebody who loves this deep, deep watery work, still hang on to your everything. But you might notice that the world is acting a bit shaken or crazy. So maybe just looking at this like the world is these tall, tall grasses. And even if you're feeling you're in these stages of transformation, even if you feel like you're cocooning right now, to just imagine yourself with those butterfly wings. Imagine you're, flying high above it. Not while you're driving, closing your eyes, imagining you're flying above the traffic. Like, keep your eyes open. But just as a thought here, even if you feel like you're in the thick of transformation, which so many of us are, especially, shout out to my amazingly wonderful friend with Scorpio rising. Girl, you're doing everything right now, and you're doing it perfectly. And everybody else is watching this. You're doing everything right now. You're doing it perfectly. So let's look at the card number 3. Whew. Freedom. So like I was saying, so if you feel like the world's a little cray-cray and you're feeling a lot of the cray-cray, right now, feeling like, in this image, these are the fins on her tail, but kind of looks like the wings, like wings on her, right? So I think there is really this strong transformative energy, this strong, like I said, these are fins, but she's wearing them in this picture like wings. So not waiting for the final transformation to show up before there's a sense of freedom or a feeling of freedom or a feeling of relief or release. So much releasing going on right now, physically, mentally, emotionally. So check her out. It's so interesting because this last card, it's freedom, independence, self-determination. All right. So if the Little Mermaid, if this was the Little Mermaid, it'd be Little Mermaid 2. And instead of wanting to walk on land and have what all the other peoples with their legs and whatever and their feet have, she's just like pirating. She's got a swashbuckler thing going on. She's doing it. She's like, I can't be a pirate. I can't do my own thing. I can't sail the seas. I can't explore lands. Why? Because I don't have feet? She's like, hell no. Not only that, but again, like I said, she is just rocking her fin like wings. And they look like butterfly wings, don't they? I'm just getting this like monarch butterfly, beautiful wing look. So let me look in the book a little bit. to know who you are and what it is you love and like and wish for and dream of and desire in the world. Hell yeah, she looks determined to figure that out, doesn't she? Desire for in the world, apart from the desires. So apart from the desires of family or group, because the group mind has at this time dominated, however gently, your own independence and self-determination. So take time. Detach from the group. It looks like she's really struck out and explored on her own. Too long have you kept silent about your needs and desires. Here, fucking here. Placing others before your own, exclamation point. When this card comes to you, we mermaids are saying it's your turn, but you must first get to know yourself, your true self, all over again. So the idea is to watch, observe, go within, and feel. So you want to begin to note what it is you wish for. So the idea of taking space and time to yourself, gift to others and to yourself, by the way, is to start to begin to notice and note what it is you wish for. And the reason for that is so then you go back to the group mind, go back to those that you contribute to, and you want to begin to contribute those dreams to the group. So it's not about, this little mermaid said, listen, I'm hearing what, all my little merfolk want. I'm going to do a little pirate adventure just so I can like clear my mind and like grow these awesome like fin wings. And I'm going to figure out and take note of what wishes and desires come up for me. Things that inspire me to bloom and to grow and to feel my wings and to feel the sense of empowerment and desire rise in me. And then that is the biggest contribution. These dreams, this rising up of a voice from yourself, from your soul. And that's what you come back with. That's what you present to the group. That's what you bring and contribute, because it is the most potent and the most powerful, because it is your authentic voice. And that goes for everyone. Everyone has this. Everyone has these wings to sprout, right? Everyone has these wings to show. But the idea here is, will you take the time to feel your wings, to feel what opens you up, to feel how you open up to the world, even if it's in a way that is completely not the norm, not what you've been told, not what you've been taught. And once you know literally how you express your freedom, okay, expose it to the world, express it to the world, and it will be, it's like this launching pad to contribute more. You want to give to the world. This is a bigger contribution. It's a bigger gift. You're more open, you're more free, okay? And when you're more open and more free, your discernment will be heightened, but your judgments will be lowered, which means you will also not be tripped up on other people's judgments as much either, because they need to find this. They need to find this so they can contribute it to the world. Not what they've been told, not what they've been taught, but what comes from their soul. Well. Happy almost very Scorpio Lunar Eclipse. And happy May. Happy my brother just had a birthday. Happy my cousin just had a birthday. Happy and happiness swimming in the depths to all of you as you take your mermaid journeys during this super watery time that we're in. And I hope that whatever's resonated with you today, you can take to heart. And know that you have the power more than just to keep doing the heavy lifting, but to truly free yourself of the cage. Don't throw yourself out. Throwing yourself away and throwing away the things that make you you isn't a sacrifice. It can be very detrimental. And it can, temporarily destroy parts of yourself, destroy relationships, destroy healthy relationships. So be aware, be cautious when you sacrifice. Be guided by the heart. Again, you can ask angels and guides if you feel very conflicted, and just kind of in that tornado mind. And if you can, be a badass. Someone fearless who knows that if they take the time to feel what's within them, they'll conjure up these wings, and these wings also represent a kind of, and see, the sword is down, so it's not so much about defending, hiding, defending these things that we feel like we can't show the world. This is really a state of empowerment and self-expression, to then bring this newfound flight, these newfound wings to the world, and to those you love, to benefit them. In general, any time and space that you need to take for yourself isn't just a gift to you, it's a gift to those you love or those you're taking time and space from. And if you don't believe me, it's a gift to those you love and to yourself. Just truly trust in that. It can be hard, but change and transformation are unavoidable, and these are potent times of transformation. We won't have this exact time kind of astrological potency of transformation again for I have no idea how long. And with Scorpio specifically, it's been about 19 years for an eclipse. Yeah, like this. So take advantage of going in deep, and releasing what you don't need, but also releasing what you do. Okay. Finding those places in yourself. Whew. All right. Did I say happy Scorpio lunar eclipse? I'm sure I did. So until next time, be really awesome to yourself. If the world seems like it's going crazy, you're going crazy. Find a little corner, a little space. Give yourself a moment, a few moments. Cry, scream, but be nice to others, or avoid them if you can right now. And until next time.